USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
Is this thing on?
Yes.
3,
Yes.
2, 1. Hello, and welcome back, Criminal Mischief Nation, to another bonus episode of Criminal Mischief with Carolyn and Branden. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon Morgan, along with the great Carolyn Osorio, who, like I always like to say, we don't deserve, but she shows up for us anyway. I have one question for you, Carolyn.
What?
One burning question.
Okay.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
How sad are you that the Olympics are over? I'm an 11.
Okay. It had its time. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm not nostalgic about certain things.
How dare you?
I know. I knew you were just going to use this as your launching post to like...
Carolyn Osorio hates her country, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the first to report it. She hates her country. Okay, at least we got that out of the way. It had its time. It had its time. It had its time. Okay.
I mean, I was over your bird a couple of weeks ago, but I'm still hearing it chirp.
The bird is thriving, by the way. The bird is thriving. Okay?
I wish you could have seen the placement of Brandon's tongue. It was over on the side of his cheek.
Yeah.
Like
in a judgy way. Yes. Very judgy. I agree.
It was kind of Robert De Niro-esque, which you kind of lean into sometimes.
Sure.
There you go.
The bird is thriving. I'll have you know.
I don't know why I said that. I thought you were going to bring out the bird.
No, the bird is visiting her other dad right now. Okay?
It's like your brother-in-law?
My brother-in-law across the street.
Oh my gosh, you guys are like both having midlife crises.
We're co-parenting the bird. Our wives don't like the bird. But
you don't have to whisper into the mic. I'm not surprised. When I saw that bird preening on your shoulder about ready to crawl into your ear, and then it looked at me with these like really scary evil black eyes. I'm like,
there's nothing
hey,
scary
he's
or
all
evil
yours.
about Mac.
He's all yours.
Mac is a good bird. Listen, if I put the bird on top of the fridge, right, and I stand in the living room with my arms out, she flies to me and just alights on my finger, and I feel like the king of the jungle. Come to me, all creatures of the earth are my children.
I know. That's absolutely the vibe you're putting out. And like I said, I was over it like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's I'm a bird guy now. That's fine. I don't mind.
So who's going to get to keep the bird? What are you going to do with it?
That's what we're figuring out. I don't know. Seth is very much my brother-in-law. We have very different parenting styles when it comes to our actual children. You know, we have very different parenting styles. I'm more kind of strict, and some might say controlling, whatever, in air quotes, where he probably doesn't know where his kids are right now. You know, his kids are like, oh, whatever. He's very like free range, just like go and do shit. So he's like, hey, we got to leave the bird outside. If she flies away, she flies away and she'll find a flock. I'm like, that's not fair because we've robbed her of a lot of her instincts. She's not scared of humans, big dogs, or cats. Okay. 3 things she needs to definitely be fucking afraid of out in the wild.
I know,
And
but
she's not.
Your Gen X has to kick in where you're like, you know what? It's either gonna live or it's not gonna live. Like, what? Come on.
I went through that in the early days when she was a little fledgling with no feathers. I was ready to like twist the head off if I thought she was suffering, but she pulled through and she's doing great. But as a result of that, like I said, we've robbed her of a lot of her instincts. She's
Okay,
used
so
to
you
getting
want to keep this bird for like 20 years?
15. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Branden.
Yeah,
All right.
that's where we're headed.
You have fun with that.
That's where we're headed. So not only does Carolyn hate her country, she hates pets. Let's mark that down, people. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's move on.
You're really on a tear tonight.
I'm just making a list. That's all. I'm just making a list. Thank you.
You know what? And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So
terrific.
how was your weekend other than all that?
The weekend was good. I've been involved in a construction project. I used to be a professional woodworker and furniture maker. So again, this brother-in-law of mine across the street has a back house that's kind of like a pool house. Half of it is a finished bathroom, like an outdoor like pool bathroom, really nice. And the other half, the whole thing's only like 100 square feet. So 50 square feet of it is a bathroom. And the other 50 square feet was just like this moldy, cobweb ridden little storage place that he wanted to turn into an office out back. So slowly over the last few months, we demoed it and, got it down to the studs and the bare concrete floor and have been really making it really nice. And it's almost done. So I put in a new floor, all new walls. I did the ceiling beams and I put in these awesome built-in shelves with a little Murphy bed, like a bunk bed that pulls out at the bottom. And so just there's a few electrical things left to do. So it's cool. So I've spent my weekends kind of over there meditatively, doing construction work. That's kind of therapeutic for me. So that's what I've been doing. And then
what's your next project?
And binging the Olympics at night. Yeah.
So what's your next project?
I don't know. I was without a project for several years before this, for like 2 or 3 years of anything like of any consequence, like little things here and there I would do. It's not like I have a ton of time. Like both of my daughters need their closets redone, so I might do some built-ins in their closets. But they'll be much more on me about getting it done than Seth is. He's like, whenever it's done, it's done. It's cool. Like no pressure. My daughter would be like, finish it. So you know how teenagers are.
Yeah. I absolutely do. It's so funny. This weekend we were like party central at Camp Asorio. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. So Saturday we had my son's turned 17, and so he had his friends en masse, like 15 teenage boys and then a few girls, and it was so crazy. It was crazy.
I remember that.
You remember that?
I remember those parties. Yep.
It's like they really don't think anything will happen to them.
Ever.
No,
they're immortal, of course.
Like they were going out on the lake and they almost sink it because we have these barges where they can have a little fishing motor and then it like goes out, right? And there were so many of them on there that they were all on one side. It started sinking. We're like, move over. And then they left the ladder back on shore and they were just sent this one guy who's like on the football team and he thinks he can just do everything, And so he's swimming back to then swim back with the ladder, the thing that they were going to jump into the lake with. We're like, no. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds dangerous. Sounds kind of dangerous, actually.
It was. I know. I had to have my little kayak behind one of the studs. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pull me. And I was sitting there holding it, and the kid, he was like pulling both of us, and you could tell he was getting so tired. And I'm just holding on to the ladder. I'm like, you can do it. I believe in you.
Wow. Fun police. So is your kid Is he going to be a senior in high school then?
No, he's going to be a junior.
Junior in high school. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that was my whole Lego thing last week. I realized the passage of the time, like I thought I was all like stiff upper lip and I got this.
Yeah.
Like it really hit me hard all at once.
My oldest is starting her freshman year in high school. It's crazy.
I know.
Not ready for it.
Mhm.
Not ready for it at all. But anyway.
That's the sage advice as you're eating licorice. Yeah.
Let's
get to it. Speaking of
kids,
senior,
let's talk about a missing young girl. Woohoo!
a senior. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. This episode angered me.
I know.
Yeah. Made me angry. And it also made me very nostalgic for two movies. What two movies? You know one.
Goonies.
And
Tell me.
Northwest Coastal Town, The Lost Boys.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's totally reminded me of Goonies and Lost Boys. Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland. Oh my gosh.
Oh, amazing. Jason Patrick.
Amazing.
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, the Coreys. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Diane Wiest as the mom.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Such a good
so
movie.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Which one did you like better? Goonies or The Lost Boys? If you had to pick. I'm going to say you liked the Lost Boys.
It's a great question. It's like when my daughters ask me my favorite Springsteen song, and they know I can't answer, right? Because it's a ridiculous question. This isn't that, but it's close because they're great movies. Because I think one is I was more a fan of when I was younger, which is the Goonies, because I wanted to be a Goonie. And then as I was older, I liked the Lost Boys more because it was sexy and I wanted to be a vampire.
Okay, well, just tell me which one.
I don't know. There isn't a right answer.
I get the dichotomy.
It depends on how old I was. Ask the 10-year-old me.
You have to make a decision.
10-year-old me was the Goonies. 15-year-old me is the Lost Boys.
No, you have to make a decision.
The Lost Goonies. That's my favorite of the two.
Okay, well, the Goonies is my favorite. I have T-shirts of like that one guy, the brother. That's all messed up.
Sloth. So I love junk. So I think the Goonies is just a better movie in terms technically and story-wise, But Lost Boys is fucking great. It's a classic.
You're not gonna I freaking love Kiefer Sutherland in that.
So let's talk about Joan Hall.
Yes.
And so this was in the I mean, they said the neighborhood of where the Goonies was shot, but then they said Astoria, which is where the Goonies was shot.
Warrenton is a town by seaside, but around that area. So I guess by the coast, it would be considered Cannon Beach and Astoria and stuff. So it's in that area.
Right, but you understand Astoria was where Goonies was. They say the name of the town in the movie several times.
Well, the movie is like Goondocks.
No, that's the nickname of this. But at the very end, when he says, when the dad says, Mikey, it's okay. You and your brother are alive. You made me the richest man in Astoria.
Oh,
and then the bad guy's dad says, you're looking at the richest man in Astoria. Now sign it.
You can't tell me that your favorite movie is not the Goonies.
I remember every line of every movie.
know. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So yes, they filmed it at different places, but the Astoria is where the house is.
And that house was on the market recently.
I know. We went to Astoria and we were going to go. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that thing where people cruise poor people's, these,
I would
these
totally
famous
do
homes.
it.
Okay.
Totally
I'm sure.
You know what? My craziest one of those things and the scariest one, I was in Philly for a film festival just before COVID. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I was there with my producer and he's my age and we did the Rocky tour. We didn't pay for it. We just, we followed the people around and pretended that we were part of the tour. Right. So like running up the steps of the museum and all that. And every hustler in the city is at the top of those stairs saying, hey, you want a picture where Rocky stood? I'll show you. And it's this. And I work for this. And they're lying. And all it takes is just a cursory glance of the ground. And there's two brass feet embedded in the concrete where Sylvester Stallone was standing. Like you don't need a guide to show you where it is. And then there's the Rocky statue down there. But then you can go to his apartment from Rocky 1. Okay. The apartment building and everything, it's still there. And it's, forgive me, Philly. I love the city, but it's a slum where that apartment is. It's terrible.
My daughter was just there with her boyfriend like 2 weeks ago, and she sent me a picture, and I was so proud because she had her hands in the air. She had her arms in the air like this, and I was just like, I don't know, it just pride was welling. I mean, Rocky when I was a kid was like one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's one of the best. It's one of the, you know, gosh, one of the top 5 movies maybe ever, to be honest. I mean, and I don't
know if you watched that documentary with Stallone where he talked about how that all came into play and how they didn't want him to, you know, he wrote this amazing script and they didn't want him.
It's legendary. Yeah. They wanted Robert Redford or they wanted De Niro. They wanted all these other people. Yeah.
And do you know how easy that would have been to fold? Like to just be like, okay, I'm going to take the money. This is my next project. That'll be it. And he didn't.
Yep.
I don't know how we got to Rocky, but
Chuck Wepner. It's loosely based on a true story.
No, I know. How did we get to Rocky from Joan?
How did we get
Branden?
about you not wanting to cruise by the Goonie house, but I cruised by the Rocky apartment?
Okay, but how is that bad?
It was just scary.
Oh,
yeah, it was really scary because it was a really rough part of town. And I'm like, I'm a tourist. I like Rocky, and it's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad. Take your picture and fuck off was basically the feeling that you got in that neighborhood. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, you know, people live in these places.
Yeah,
and
I
mean, how many times do you want to like have to deal with some lame-o coming up and just being like, hey, I'm going to take a selfie.
Yeah. So, all right. So Joan Hall,
yes.
Let's just get right to the part that makes me angry.
Okay.
Because I'm going to use the word allegedly one time, and I want it to apply to all of the accusations I'm going to throw. So this is the one allegedly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cover-up. It was a classic small town cover your ass cover-up.
Mm-hmm.
Convince me otherwise.
Woohoo! My kids are gearing up to head back to school. But it's a little sad because it also means that lazy days are over. Pretty soon they won't be able to just yell down the hall to get in touch with me, or vice versa. Now that I'm thinking about it, it'll be coordinating pickups and after-school plans, plus making sure everyone is where they're supposed to be, which is why it's making even more sense for my kids to have the same tech that I do, so they can help with a little bit of the heavy lifting. But when it comes to my younger kids, it's daunting to think about all the stuff they could access on a smartphone. That's not good for them. And I worry about cyberbullying because it's happened to one of my kids in the past when they were in middle school. That was a nightmare. But I found a solution, which is why I want to tell you about Gab's back to school sale. Gab is the leader in safe smartphones and watches for kids, teens, and tweens. So if you're on the fence, like I was, about getting my kid a cell phone, Gab is a fabulous option because they don't have social media apps or an internet browser, but it does come with GPS tracking, so you'll know where your kid is at all times. Now, you might be thinking, why would my tween want this? Trust me, Gab phones and watches still have tech that kids want, like unlimited talk and text. But here's the thing. Gab Messenger blocks high-risk messages and content with nudity from ever reaching your child's phone. Gab also has hundreds of third-party apps that can be installed at parents' discretion. We just got the latest edition, the Gab Phone 4 Pro, which has more features than ever before. And having this device with these parental controls built in, I think is going to be a game changer for us this year. Because I want my tween to have a phone so I can keep in contact with him when I need to be. And he doesn't feel left out and is able to talk and text with his friends about schoolwork and hangouts. Which is why I really think Gab is a must-have this year, and I can't recommend enough that you and your family give them a try. And right now is the perfect time because Gab is offering huge discounts on phones and watches to new customers. The best part? There's no contract required. Just go to gab.com/mischief to get started. That's Gab, GABB.com/mischief. Gab.com/mischief. Terms and conditions apply.
So good, so good, so good.
Ready to rack to school and save big? Get to your Nordstrom Rack store today for thousands of deals from just $20.
Because I want to look fresh.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
I got a new backpack.
Score everyone's favorite denim, sneakers, boots, and activewear from Nike, Levi's, Steve Madden, Madewell, and Free People. Great brands, great prices. Everyone's got a reason to rack. Shop Nordstrom Rack and make it the best school year ever.
This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
OMG, yes.
It's an absolute riot.
Woo!
And the only movie that can be described as
so much weirder than the last time. What last time?
it's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays. What deeply out of touch old person came up with that? You did. Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
This episode is brought to you by the world's first reposado from Tequila Herradura. Made with slow-cooked, hand-harvested agave sealed into oak barrels and aged 11 months. Before being enjoyed in your glass. Experience the world's first reposado. Tequila Herradura. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Tequila Herradura. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Brown-Forman, Louisville, Kentucky. Herradura is a registered trademark. Copyright 2025 Brown-Forman Corporation.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
I don't really feel like there was an investigation. It's like these three boys who said they saw her in the car of Mike Moore.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden he was going there to wash his hands and then left. And then they changed it to another girl. And
All
then
three of them changed their stories
all three of them changed
to the
their
exact
stories. And
same different story. Yeah.
No, it doesn't even. Yeah, to the only information we have is that it was a different girl, but
Exactly.
there's no information that the girl was ever interviewed. And it was like, why is this cop going out cruising all of these remote areas and it took him a week to get to just talking to the people who might have information about who took her?
And all that. There was really wonderful kind of commentary from you about how here's a missing girl, and there was one cop was looking for. They didn't assign any other manpower, like nothing. One cop was assigned the case to look for her. Like that's it.
I mean, it boggles the mind. And then this whole thing, what really got me interested in the case was when I heard about the 75 years because this kind of stuff drives me nuts. I'm always requesting these documents, always dealing with bureaucrats and pencil pushers and all that stuff. And the guy is right. I was like, I know I'm adding so much information that maybe people don't want to hear, but it's important to hear because like we have rights to have these documents.
Yeah. If our tax dollars pay to create them, we should be able to look at them.
Right. And not have people like putting up blockers and all that stuff. And it's like this investigation, like what happened?
Like except in terms of like national security or schematics for a fucking nuclear bomb. Yeah, great.
Yes.
Tax dollars paid for that, but we don't need that information, right?
Right.
But not like, well, we don't want you to see this because it's going to make a police chief look bad because he was covering for his son. That doesn't fall under that serving the public good shit. No, that's something
and it didn't even say that.
Right. It's something that needs to be exposed, I think, anyway.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. So I'm excited to see where this goes and what they find out. But, after so many years, people pass away, but it sounds like I wanted to know so bad what they found. I am telling you, I was like a dog with a bone.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that in a second. But so the key suspects, one of them is the son of the sheriff, is a suspect in this.
Well, I think he's a person of interest as well as the deputy sheriff is also a person of interest based on the fact that and unfortunately he passed away in 2019. The deputy sheriff that was patrolling and doing all that knew her from the Explorers, was a
Oh,
neighbor
God.
to her. And like none of this stuff is in the report. Like this is his son. He doesn't say, I need to recuse myself because this is my son. And
Yeah.
there's nothing in the paperwork. And
Hey.
there's nothing even in the police that came after from the documents that I saw. But like the Dean said, not everything has been released. So maybe there's something in there that speaks to this, but that he was basically interviewing his own son. That was never.
Sure. So how hard hitting do you think the follow-up questions were in that interview? There were zero. Like it's ridiculous.
Right. There's no interview tapes. There's no.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
And
then the whole thing of like, then she just vanished.
Oh, what? Right? Fucking crazy. Like it gets me so angry. This kind of stuff.
I know.
That it's the justice can just be stolen. It doesn't have to be at the highest levels in government, right? It's more often than not it's in little small towns like this, right? Where the power is absolute and it's in one or two people, and they'll do what they have to do to protect their own. And
the gaslighting that must have gone on with this family of like, hey, we're doing everything we can.
Yeah,
we don't have anything. It's a total dead end.
No leads. No leads.
Mike Moore dropped her off, and we don't.
That's it.
That's the last we've seen, and
probably some dirty drifter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know your feelings on drifters, but what I'm saying is
this is exactly what I'm saying, Brando.
Yeah, it's probably
I'm seeing.
They could paint a picture of a boogeyman that wandered through town,
and that's what they do sometimes, like, right? And then the poor father. I didn't even add this in because I just couldn't. There just wasn't space for it. But just kind of the way that the episode laid out, he had a heart attack like 11 days after his daughter went missing, and then or maybe it was like 10 days or something. But anyway, then 11 years after Joni Hall disappeared, her parents died like within 2 days of each other. Like this totally impacted the family like a bomb, It's just so stressful. And I know. And
that other girl that they could have talked to, she gets murdered in the Midwest.
I know.
That was, gosh. But what I wanted to bring up, which was interesting, is that I rewatched like there's probably 50 movies, I would say, give or take 50, where if I'm surfing through channels and I happen to land on it, I'll just settle in and watch the rest of it. Okay. And one of them is Silence of the Lambs. I love Silence of the Lambs. It's such a masterpiece of horror and thriller.
I agree with you more. Absolutely.
It's a perfect movie, from writing to directing to acting, music, sound design, wardrobe, sets, it's absolute perfection. And it was very, very fresh in my mind, especially the third act, because I came in right around halfway through. Okay. And so it's after Lecter escapes from that prison in the hotel, in the ballroom of the hotel. Okay. He escapes by cutting the guy's face off and he's gone. He's in the wind now. He's out there.
Yeah.
And so then it's Clarice and her roommate at Quantico. It's like, he won't come after me. He would consider it rude. Trust me, he's not going to come after me. It's fine. But they were trying to figure out who Buffalo Bill was. And they're sitting on the bed and she goes, Lecter said that everything I need to know to find him is in this file. And this motherfucker that you were talking to said that big piece of evidence is in the file. And you said you went through almost 500 pages and couldn't find shit. So do you believe him? Is that in? He goes, it's in there. And if you connect it with other things, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I love how your voice just turned into like Vinny. You know what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
No, I totally think that it's in there. It's just that I need that extra piece to know who.
You need the cipher. You need this Rosetta Stone.
Yes, because I was looking for it. I thought that who he was talking about was the pizzeria guy. So I kind of chased that. every time I saw the name Carl Hurd, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to chase this. I got to chase this. This is it. This is it. I was blinded by my own ego thinking I figured it out. So it kind of became, but then I was like, I don't want to solve this, not to say that I could, because these people have been working on this for frickin' however many years. You know,
But he said it. The other guy said it. You could be the the podcaster that does the thing. That
I know, but I
oh
wouldn't.
no, that
I
was in
I actually like had considered. I've kind of been holding on to this one because I thought, God, I would love to do this because this has the hallmarks of everything that I love. But just everything that we've got going on right now, I couldn't get distracted by it because it's so easy for me to get lost in these records, you know, trying to find that needle.
Well, you got to put it through the what is it? The Latin thing, cui bono.
Cui bono.
Cui bono, who benefits, right? And
well, I mean, clearly, I think that who benefits is the investigators who didn't want to investigate. And why is that? You know, that he said the guy who came forward, we know it was a guy, and we know it was someone once she turned the corner with Mike, you know, allegedly, possibly Mike Moore. Somebody saw them. Did they see him talking to someone else? I don't know. There was all these little pieces, you know why?
Because they said Cui gives a shit and fucking swept it under the rug.
Right. They're like, he knew. I said, did the person even know that what the information they had was really important? And he was like, yeah, he knew. And he was trying to tell them, but they didn't want to listen. That's what he said. The congressman or retired congressman.
Right.
I know.
Talk about a dog with a bone. That guy and the chick from the beginning who's like, was just completely affected by this mean girl shit that happened 40 years ago, right? Let me
just tell you, don't put anything past mean girl shit, okay? That stuff sticks.
Obviously, look at it sticks.
Yeah. It sticks.
And she turned it into a positive. She didn't like turned into some crazy woman. She turned into like you know, a advocate.
She did. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's impressive. So where do you think this goes? Like, is there anything active about any aspect of this investigation?
Yes, there is. So basically what's happening now is that Dina has a attorney that's working with them and her team, and they're going through all of these files with a fine-tooth comb, and it takes a long time, you know, to go through and to put everything together, and then they're leveraging that with the information that she gets off her Facebook page. Of course, there's people who are just like, know nothing and are giving false.
But there are people who are working on this with the full knowledge of this information that the guy was playing cute with you about, right?
Yeah, and they're working. I think they have given the information to the sheriff's office, and according to Dean, he was like, "Hey, you know, the current sheriff was not blocking us getting these records, and he didn't block any of the other agencies that were around, you know, like Oregon State Police and the City of Warrenton Police, because the Clatsop County Sheriff's Office is the ones that have the records. So I think that." They're working together. At least that's what it sounds like. And he said, I don't want to say anything because, you know, it's an active investigation now. Whatever that means, I don't know. And, you know, I think that I honestly think we're just going to see it on social media. Like the news is going to break and we're going to be like, hey, remember that case?
Yeah, we got to keep track of these. Let's make this an ongoing. So we've got the Gilgo Beach guy.
Yep.
We've got the Karen Reed case out of Boston. And now we've got this one.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the mom with the poisoned her husband, allegedly.
Whoa! Wow! Reckless use of the microphone.
I know, right?
Very, very reckless.
You're rubbing off on me. Stop it.
Careful. You're the one with the reputation. I'm not. Okay. So, okay. All right, cool. Well, let's check in on those as necessary. Well, like I said, this was well researched and some great clips there, and it just made me angry. How, you know, because how often that this probably happens in small towns where justice is denied, and you know, hopefully less so with the technology out there right now, and people could be exposed. You know. But
well, it's going to be a hard one, Branden, because they don't have a body and they don't have any of her clothes, nothing like the book bags. I mean, she had a full, you know, bag full of Gone with the Wind. She was probably researching a paper on Marilyn Monroe because she had 2 biographies. Like, it's like when you hear that, I don't know, it always gets me when I hear the details of what people had on them. It's kind of like a window into their personality a little bit.
They had plans.
They had plans.
They were living. They had shit to do.
Yeah. So we'll definitely keep you posted on this.
Please do. Well, until then, Criminal Mischief Nation, let us say thank you for spending a little extra time with us today. And if you enjoyed the episode, head on over to Apple and rate and review us, please. Consider sharing us with a friend. It helps more than you know. So thank you for listening. Stay safe until next time. Carolyn, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I was actually looking at our numbers recently, and it's really cool because I don't know if I was looking at the right report, but majority of the people who actually listened to the episode absolutely listened to the bonus episode. And for that, we can thank you enough. And part of the reason why we wanted to do the bonus episodes is because some people like to just hear a story being told. They don't want the crosstalk. They don't want, people's opinions and all that stuff. And so then we take it over here and it's a little less serious. We have a little bit of fun, hence the mischief. And thank you so much for listening.
Hear, hear. Well done. So again, thanks everybody. Sorry that the Olympics are over. I'm feeling the pain as well. But
why do I feel like a dig is coming my way?
And if you watched the closing ceremonies, Tom Cruise did the Tom Cruisiest thing that Tom Cruise has ever done, and it was majestic. Okay, so well done. LA's gonna kick the shit out of the Olympics in 4 years, and I can't wait. So until then, stay well. Talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.
From Cloud 10, Criminal Mischief is a pie-in-the-sky production, recorded in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself. Music by Soundstripe. I'm Carolyn Osorio, your writer and host.